All right, guys, so Enis, as you know, I told you this is for the video course we're doing. And so whoever's watching this has probably, presumably already gone through, I hope, a bunch of modules on buying and selling on terms and things like that. But what I didn't do in the course is I did not go over rehabs and flips because it's not my expertise. We've done them, but so I thought I'd introduce you, how we met, and then have these guys listen to this, and then have you chat a little bit about rehabs. And I got a couple questions, but I'd rather keep it real for them watching.
Absolutely.
Sound good? All right.
Sounds great.
So guys, and Enis, jump in, because I always try to tell the story right, but jump in if I'm wrong. So Enis and I met, oh gosh, a couple of years ago through our VA calling one of your FSBOs, I think.
Correct.
Right,
yep.
in Massachusetts. And we ended up getting together. Long story short, guys, we did an AO deal. And actually, we filled it with a 10% deposit. And I think back in those days, I was foolishly giving half to the sellers, wasn't I? Did you get half?
We did get half, yes.
Ah, jeez. Should have been 25%.
Yeah.
So back in the day, that's a good actually side note here in this course, because back in the day, we did 50% all day long, and you were happy, and it was a good deal. So we both made out.
Yeah, the numbers worked on my end for it.
Yeah, exactly. And guys, for you listening, you already went through the AO deals, for those of you listening to this course, and you know that I try to do 25% now, but if someone like Enis came along and he's a rehabber and he's got other deals going on, would I still do a 50%? Absolutely. You know, don't give up good deals and good relationships. So, side note, I was just kidding. All right, so maybe a little bit about you, Enis, and how long you and your brother have been doing rehabs, and what types of rehabs you do, and anything else you want to add, and then I'll kind of just live with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually started with buy and hold. We bought the 6 unit in 2013, right at the beginning of the year in January. And we liked it because it was cash flowing really well. So we wanted to grow that part of our business and said, okay, how can we grow the business? You know, we need the cash to put down.
I don't know if I knew that. How many units was it?
6 units.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, I don't think I shared that with you, but that's how we started. 6 unit in Ulster was a cash cow. We still own the building, but we had to put down 25%. So that
there
was,
you go.
You know, so. To go from that to the next one, we said we need some cash, and I really wasn't making as much money. My brother was doing better, but he still had his business that he needed to fund, so not much cash laying around. So a lot of people were going into the fix and flip business because prices were still cheap, and that's how we started that.
What year was that? Just so I get my head straight.
We started right at the beginning of 2014.
Okay, right when we met, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the one that actually I was.
Sorry, let me turn this down. Sorry about that.
Sure.
Okay.
One that we got in touch with was in New Bedford, and that was a property that we got under agreement. We wanted to fix it up, but it was too far out. You know, it was about an hour drive, and we said, you know what, we got other things closer to Boston, so let's see if we could wholesale that. And we put it up for, we had it under agreement, but we put it out as a for sale by owner because we were planning to close on it soon. And that's how Les, your VA, got in touch with me, and I was really impressed because he was very persistent, very professional. And then within a couple hours, you called me back. So I'm like, wow, these guys, they really know what they're doing.
Good to hear the system works.
Yeah.
Now and again.
Yeah, and then you followed up with an email and an offer right away, which, to someone like me was very appealing because I wanted to see real numbers. I wanted to get options. And, yeah, I was very surprised. That's why when, I got that Holden deal, I was very excited to work with you on it.
Good.
Because I wanted to see how you were doing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's what, we started doing that. And every now and then when we find a property that makes sense for cash flow, which is much tougher nowadays, we still buy them, but we're mostly focused in rehabbing, wholesaling, and then just started obviously getting coached by you on the lease purchase.
Yeah, so tell them on the rehabs, I don't know, I know I wholesaled one to you, but that one or other deals,
yeah.
How long does it take you usually from start to finish, and what kind of numbers do you like to see on the rehabs? Because what I'm trying to do here is anyone listening I'm hammering terms in this course. This is kind of a little bonus video saying, what if I did rehabs? Like, what can I expect? The good and the bad. I mean, just tell them a little bit about your system.
Yeah, and I think it's great to have that skill, or at least, because not every property will fit into the lease purchase. If it's all really run down.
Agreed. And
they get it for cheap, it might make a lot more sense to fix it up.
Right.
So it's an extra tool to have on your business.
Right.
So we've done 6 so far Chris, and our goal is for 10 by the end of the year. So, you know, we got a few offers out there right now, so I think we'll be able to make that happen. But out of those 6, 1 was yours, and that turned out to be very good. You wholesale that to us, and we loved it because it was quick in and out type of deal.
Well, the numbers on that, just remind me, but also tell them start to finish.
So I think 85 purchase price, including your wholesale fee and closing cost. I got it sold at 195 with a rehab budget of about 40. So I think we cleared 50. We cleared 50,000 after all expenses and holding costs and financing costs. But then I made 6 or 7 more because I listed it. I was a listing agent.
Oh, good.
So it was really close to $60,000 profit. And, you know, really wasn't much work. It was very easy.
So 60 on a 190 house, that's a cool deal.
It's amazing because, you know, it's a low purchase property. You don't have to tie that much cash. And it's, like I said, was a cosmetic rehab. The only thing that did cost most, more than anything else, was the sewer line.
I think I remember that.
Line, like $1,000. So that was painful. But, yeah, so that's one that we did. And then we got more expensive ones, like the one in Malden. It was about $100,000 rehab budget, but we make close to 80 or 90 on that. So we want to see. It's really the profit that we aim for. It really depends on how much work and how much money we're going to put into it. Ideally, we want to make 40, 50, but
I thought so. Yeah,
things go sideways. So as long as we stay close to that number, we're happy.
Yeah, well, what I tell these guys, and in this market, in some markets, as things start getting better, it might not work, but I always tell them 70% of after repair value, less repairs. So you build it in 30% at least. But when I look at it, I wouldn't do it without at least budgeting for 50 plus. And then if you screw up, okay, big deal, but you got a buffer in there.
And a lot of people use that formula, the 70% minus repairs. The market is extremely hot where I am. You know, I mean, obviously my farm area is Boston and you know, close to. We'll go out 10, 12 miles or 40 minutes out of downtown, so we cover quite a large area. But it's very, very competitive. Prices are going, you know, crazy. So the 70% rule doesn't always work. It's amazing when it does. Yeah. But you have to you got to have obviously very good knowledge of the market, of prices. You got to know each pocket of each city or neighborhood very well, because you might be a street over and you're really not going to get the price of or the ARV that you're thinking of getting. So you got to be very knowledgeable about that.
Right.
I think that's very, very important to have market value, to know market values very well.
Yeah, I agree. I had 2 comments actually based on what you said. So one was, or for them, okay, so the one I wholesaled you, realistically, this is interesting because realistically, I could have rehabbed it. In hindsight, I said to Kim, geez, you could have went and rehabbed it, my wife, but it's an hour for me, so it would have been a hassle. But the flip side of the coin is you could have done a lease purchase on it, as you know, and just for them listening. So if you sold it for $190, very realistically, you could have sold it for $215, $219 on a lease purchase. Right. And so picture guys who are listening, he would have picked up, instead of a net of 50-ish or 60, he would have picked up a net of close to 100, which is kind of comical. So, but that's what happens on terms. So the point is, back to what you said earlier, it gives these guys options. If they're a rehabber, great, they can listen to you a little bit, and we may do a course together on that. Who knows later. If they're a terms person, they may add this. So either way, it gives them another arrow in their quiver. Yeah,
and if you remember when we spoke, me and you spoke a few months back about this property, I said, you know what, we're thinking of doing a list purchase because the numbers look great. But my brother, who is also my partner, he said, you know what, let's try to list it, see what we can get. And you know, cash is always appealing, but it's short-term cash. You know, I mean, I like the idea of long-term and you double your money.
Yeah, you killed the golden goose, but that's okay.
Yeah, exactly right. So you gotta make the decision sometime and see. It really depends where you are in your business. You know, if you need the cash to do your marketing, to pay yourself, to buy another deal. But if you are really, you have your finances in place, you got your private or hard money lender, you know, to finance other deals. Maybe, not maybe, but I think 100% that would work best. You lease purchase, you know, you keep it, rehab it, and then you double your money. Yeah,
actually, yeah, you're right. Doubling is closer because I said 90, but let's think about this. You would have done 90 or 100, but you also would have had the monthly spread. Yeah. And I don't know how your construction loan is set up, but you probably would have paid down some principal. So that would have been a cool deal. But that's good.